Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining this live stream. It's day four of the day week, day four of the Cloudflare Developer Week, and we didn't really do a lot of streaming. So yesterday I could not stream. I had to do a couple of things, but today we are back with the streaming and we'll just go ahead and just do a recap of day 2 and day 3. This is going to be a smaller stream. We're not going to do a lot of coding. We might not do any coding at all, but the idea is just to again just share with you what I am excited about, and also get to know from you what you are excited about with the live with the announcements. So let me go ahead and start with sharing my screen. Let's see. I hope I do this correctly. Should be the one. All right. You all should be able to now see my screen. And again, this is going to be a recap of day 2 and day 3 of the dev week. So we're going to go ahead and try to, summarize this, go through this together and chat through it. All right. There were a lot of announcements as we can see over here. So to do a quick recap on day one we talked about a workflows going GA, mutable objects available in the free tier. We talked about MCPs, authentication for MCPs as well. We also looked into auto rag. I have built a fun demo that you all can try out. Let me share the link. Let me open it up real quick. So if you go to herschel.dev/demo/devweekrag, it will take you to this little app that I built with autorag. Was able to build it like in 30ish minutes. We actually were building this in the first live stream, but everything was working fine in that. The only thing was I had to be working a little bit. Yeah, we had to wait a little bit so that the indexing is completed before we start querying it. But now we can go ahead and check this out. I can do what is MCP. It is going to go through all the vector embeddings. Now these embeddings are created using the Cloudflare blog post. You can go ahead and check out the GitHub repo for that. But yeah, it will just go ahead and get that information and give us that information in here from those articles, right? So the link is now in the chat. You can go ahead and try it out by yourself and let me know what you think about it. So this was day one, and we also talked about Outerbase now being a part of Cloudflare, which is super exciting. Now for day two, we had a lot of things going around. I would like to think about it in the sense that a lot of things going around for the frameworks, or like how you build applications, right? So as a developer educator, one of the exciting announcements for me was the deploy to Cloudflare button, because we build a lot of demos and we want people to just quickly use it out of the box. So now with the deploy to Cloudflare button, you kind of just click on this and you can easily deploy an application on in your Cloudflare account. It automatically provisions services like workers KV, uh, D1 database, and an R2 bucket as well. So for me, this was interesting. Like we basically skip all these steps. Let's go ahead and click that. I'm trying to see if there are examples for fiber plane. Love that you can like simply go ahead and now deploy an MCP server. You don't have to write the code yourself. Just use the ones that we have in the starter template, and then based on how you want to work with that, you can simply update it. We also have templates for agent, and you can add it to your own project. So if you have a project which is built on top of Cloudflare and you want other people to use it, you can add the deploy to Cloudflare button to your application, and they would be easily able to use that in for their project. So the other thing with this is, even if you don't have a or even if a project that you want to use does not have a deploy to Cloudflare button, you can still pass in the GitHub URL or the GitLab URL, and we'll take the we'll take care of the rest of the steps, which would be forking that, not forking, but creating a repo in your own account and then deploying it on Cloudflare. So one of those announcements for day two was this. Then a lot of people have been building full stack applications on Cloudflare, and I have been often tasked like, hey, I want to do this, but I have my application on Pages, and I want to do something that is only possible with Workers. How do I do that? With using the official Cloudflare Weed plugin, now you don't have to have a separate project for your front end and a back end. You can do that all in just a single repo. So you have the front end and the back end in a single place, and you use Weed to basically serve this. Now again, I'm looking at the time we are, because at like in 12ish minutes we're gonna have like new announcements going in, and I want you all to go and check that out and not stay here on the stream, because we're gonna do a recap of that tomorrow. But yeah, we want to make sure we cover what we missed from last 2 days. So you can now serve single page applications. If you want to use it for your existing app, you can go ahead and do that. You have to add the Cloudflare Weed plugin, and in your Weed config file, you have to configure that. I already have an example repo which is using React Router v7, as well as let me share this. Vite, the Cloudflare Vite plugin. It has workflows. It has, I think, D1 as a database. I'm trying to do the Cloudflare primitives, but for now it is working fine. And we got iOS joining in. iOS says that AI world moves so fast that even JavaScript devs are in dust. That's true. Like the AI world is moving so fast. It's just crazy to see, all the new things coming up. Google, I think, yesterday announced a couple of interesting things in terms of AI. Now, you folks should go ahead and just check it out. But it's interesting one. Like they have a new proposal for agent to agent. Haven't got a chance to look into it, but something I am excited to try out as well. So again, you can just quickly go ahead, click on this, and it will deploy a Vite React template on Cloudflare for you. All right. Next up, Hyperdrive is now supports MySQL. So if you have been using Hyperdrive, for the folks who haven't heard about what Hyperdrive is, Hyperdrive makes um, how do I your database available across the globe. So if you have like a traditional kind of a database, which is maybe a Postgres or now even MySQL, it would be on a server somewhere on the earth, right? Let's just say you are based in Berlin, you have the server deployed in Frankfurt, but your users are somewhere in India, right? Now, if the users want to interact with the data that is available on the database, it would take a lot of time to like query the data, because the request goes from India to Frankfurt and then back, right? What Hyperdrive does is it kind of brings that data close to the user. So instead of making that a longer request, this request is going to be served from a data center close to the user. Now it does not replicate your database, but it kind of helps you reduce that latency. And with this, you can now also use MySQL with Hyperdrive. And one of the things that I have been trying myself is deploying Next apps to Cloudflare using OpenNext. Earlier, when I was trying it, it was still in the alpha, so a lot of things were not in place, but now it is in beta, so a lot more improvements, a lot more features that are added. So just trying to let's try to go and see what's been in here. But before I do that, again, chat, let me know what you are excited about, what you have seen, and you are like, hey, this is something that I have been wanting to use for a while, or if something that we haven't shipped yet, let me know in the chat, and I'll share that with the team. Now, coming back to this, uh, with OpenNext.js improvements, you can now do caching. We have partial pre-rendering. We have middlewares. It now supports both the app and the pages routers, which is good. And there is image optimization. All right. So this is fantastic because I saw a talk a couple of months back where they were deploying a Next.js application on Cloudflare. Now they did not do much with the OpenNext library because it was like still not available back then. But one of the things that two of the things that I remember from the talk was caching and image optimization as something they were trying to figure out. And with this, it seems like it's now more easier to do it and deploy a Next.js app on Cloudflare. So that is a good news. I would maybe try to do like a live stream where we try out all these features. So again, let me know if we want to do something with this or if there's something else you want to see on the live stream. Yep. And again, I love this when there is like more availability in the Node.js compatibility metrics. We have now crypto, DNS, timers, and TLS libraries available, which means that if there are any npm packages that were dependent on this, you can now easily use them in Cloudflare workers. That's great. And go ahead and check out the video by my colleague Confidence. He takes you to the steps of hosting and deploying the Next.js app on Cloudflare workers with OpenNext.js, of course. All right. I see users now move to Twitch, and he mentions that I don't know much about AI, just here to educate myself. I am glad you are over here. Just, I think, just a couple of minutes back, I shared this application called Dev Week Rag, which is like a RAG application I was able to build in a couple of, in like, I would say 30-ish minutes with this thing called Auto Rag. So highly encourage you to try it out. Might be a good place, for you to understand RAG and how to build a RAG application, but not necessarily going through all the steps of doing it because we take care of that for you. All right. Let's go back to this. And this is what I mentioned with the Weed plugin. You can now have the front end and the back end and the database now in one Cloudflare worker. I want to highlight this. So you can now use headers and redirects. So in the link that I shared, herschel.dev/demo/dev week, basically for this, I am using those redirects. So if I show you the original link, it's something like this. Let me try to show it in a bigger way. So it's like kind of a longer link with .workers.dev because did not configure a domain for this. So I have a redirect setup for this, which is again set up in the redirects configuration file. Now this blog is basically a summary of all the announcement that was made on day 2. The other thing you can see over here is image bindings in worker is generally available. So if you haven't used image bindings, it basically allows you to transform images and like show it on the edge. So that's what image binding does. And let's see. All right. I have one small project to show you that might be interesting to see, how I am I am having a full stack application which has the front end and the back end in a single worker. I'll do that in after we go through the other announcements. And I see Ayush mentions that loved your presentation too at some conferences. I don't remember the name. I wish I could go to these two. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I am trying to do like some fun stuff with conference talks. So stay tuned. I have a few more conferences coming up, but thank you again for that. And if you have any feedback, just feel free to share them. All right. Your front end, back end, and database. We saw that. Now, uh, this was another feature that a lot of the developers were looking forward for is like better observability for your workers application. So we had logs already, but we improved the logs, we improved the metrics, and now it's more better to just go and evaluate the metrics that you have. You know what? Let me quickly show you. Right, I'm gonna do this. I promised you I'm gonna show you an app which basically uses workers for the full stack. Yeah. So I have a website called hirejuniors.dev. This is like a side project that I have where I try to list or like try to collect job opportunities for people who are just starting out in tech or are still like juniors who think they are juniors and are looking for junior roles. So this project uses React Router and the Cloudflare Vite plugin. So as you can see, there is a React router configuration file. In the Vite config file, we are using the Cloudflare Vite plugin. I think I'm gonna increase the font size a bit more. This should be better, I guess. But again, let me know in the chat if I should increase it. So it uses that. Now the app contains, the UI for this, and I am using D1 for storing the job listings. But what I really wanted to show you was the workers file. Now in the app.ts, it's basically configuring how the request should be handled. But also in here, I am. Let me quickly. Yeah, I have I have like a schedule handler as well, which is like think of as a cron figure, and it calls out two different workflows. The one is the Amazon workflow, and the other is a Cloudflare jobs workflows. Now, I have run into issues for this. I still haven't got a chance to fix it. I know it's kind of fixable, but yeah, just haven't got the time to do that. Anyways, I'll quickly show you the workflows, and this is the workflow that I have. So basically, it would make a call to the, how do you call it? Uh, the Cloudflare's job listing endpoint. Now, it's not official endpoint, but I've found the URL, make a call to that, do a bunch of refining, and I'm only looking for the jobs which are like for junior roles. So this is where I'm doing. All right, let me go here. We first fetch the jobs, and then we refine the data, and then we insert the job in a D1 database. That's it. That's all that we are doing. One thing I want to do is add AI to refine this information in a much better way. So if I can open it up, I have some commented code in here. Mm, yeah. So this is the commented code in the Amazon workflow. It's not really using Workers AI for now because I haven't got a chance to like actually make it work. But the idea is to like pass on all the jobs if possible, and then give the AI the job description and let the AI decide if it's a job for a junior role or not. Because oftentimes you would not see the title junior in the in the job title, or even like internship in the job title, right? But those information are in the job description. So just thought, maybe it would be good to get that with AI. Again, still haven't got a chance to try it out. But hey, this is an open source project. You can go ahead and, contribute to it and help build hiregenius.dev. All right. And then the next thing I wanted to show you was the logs for this project, because it has people use it. I have seen it getting like, getting a lot of not a lot of requests, but some, okay, a lot of requests. Like it's 1.5K requests. So again, I just wanted to show you the observability thing. I'm not going to go through all of it because it's already time that the new announcements are out. But as you can see now, it gives you like really good matrix. It gives me like, oh, there is an error, how many shop requests were there, the CPU time, the wall time, and I can even go to the logs. And wait, I did not enable logs. Oh my god. All right. But I know how do I enable logs. It's like add just one binding, and I should be able to do it. So if I go to work wrangler.toml file, yeah, I see we don't have the logs in here for this. I would also go ahead and do that. It's simply adding the observability configuration in here. And yes, let me share the link. So I'm sharing the GitHub link in the chat. If you are interested, go ahead, check it out, and feel free to contribute it. Right now, it's just getting job from Cloudflare. The Amazon one is broken, but you can also add workflows for other companies as well. All right, let's go back to our blog. Yeah, there were also, and this is a really nice blog which talks about how we have improved the network performance. And yeah, I think I'm gonna not get into details of that one because I haven't personally got a chance to like read that, so I don't want to just go through it just like that because we don't really have so much time. But Cloudflare snippets is now available. It's now generally available, and here is like a really good table. Where is it? Yeah. So snippet basically allows you to run some JavaScript code before your request hits the origin server. So if you want to do some kind of maybe change the headers or change the headers of the incoming request or cache the assets or do stuff like that, snippets is like a good way to do that. Now this block contains that information on when you should use snippets and when you should use workers, and it also goes into a bit more detail about snippets and also gives you a couple of examples. Yeah, just like this one. Right, moving forward, this is the one that I am excited about, like really excited about, is like like having secret store, because I have applications which uses like the same secrets for different applications. So to give you an example, for hiregenius.dev, I want to have a pipeline. Whenever a new job gets added to our database, it should send out a tweet, right? But I already have my Twitter credentials configured for another account, for another application, which is like the live stream announcement application, right? Now, instead of adding the credentials individually for each of these projects, I can now add this into my secret store and then use that in all the different projects. So if I spin up another project is which needs the Twitter credentials, I can simply go ahead and use it from our secret store. I don't have to configure those credentials again for that application. So that is Cloudflare Secret Stores. This is in beta, but go ahead and check it out. And if you have any feedback, do let us know. And one thing, and this is the other thing I really want to try out, is the real-time kit. So you can build like voice applications, video applications, like any kind of streaming that you want to do with the real-time kit. And this is possible because with the help from our friends, now a part of Cloudflare, Diet. Now, Clyde has joined Cloudflare and they are bringing this amazing work that they have been doing with real time for a couple of years now. So, with the real time kit, it's basically you can use this SDKs to add the real time features, or basically, the streaming features or the WebRTC features that you want into any kind of application that you are building. So, be it like a mobile app with React Native or like a web app with React itself, right? Uh, so I want to try out with Expo. I have a couple of ideas to play around with this. So I am looking forward to try it out. Maybe I'll do it in the live stream. I still don't know, but let me know in the chat if you want me to do that in the live stream. And I think that was all for day 2 and day 3. And it was like a very quick recap, but that was the idea to like do a recap. Just to give you all a quick teaser, I'm going to refresh the blog because I know a few announcements were made already. As you can see, there are announcements in here already. And I'm not going to go through them. I'll let you go through them. And if you want to get these announcements, or if you want to check them out for today, just I'm pasting it in the chat. So again, go through them and let us know which ones you are excited about, which one you like, and tomorrow we will, go through them together. And I'm gonna try to not do such a quick recap. We'll go through them one by one, try to get into a bit more details, and maybe write some code. Let's see. But again, thank you all for joining in. And if you have any feedback, if you want to show something, if you want to see something else in the live stream, or let's say oh yeah, if you want to also come on the live stream, I like try to do this live streams like kind of low key, so we can do anything we want, which is pretty low key. If you have joined the live stream previously, you might have seen me fail a couple of times trying to build something. This is a chill live stream where we just try to have some fun, right? And this is a really good question by Ayush. Where to see the recordings though? So the recordings, I generally make sure that the recordings are available on my YouTube channel. Now let me also try to get you the link. Is this the link? Maybe. Let's quickly check. All right, yeah. So you can go to my YouTube channel and you can find the recordings over there. I am not like a Twitch affiliate or something, so I don't have the recordings saved on Twitch for a longer period of time. So YouTube would be a place to find those recordings. But yeah, with this, thank you again for joining in. And if you have, feedback, suggestion, or anything else, let me know. And I'm excited to also hear which is your favorite announcement so far and what you are looking forward to build with Cloudflare. All right. Thank you all. And thank you, Ayush, for joining in and chatting in with me. I hope to see you all in the next one. Till then, have fun. Cheers.